Hello, welcome to the AA podcast. I am your co-host, Alexander.
And I'm Aya.
Co-host number, it's not number one and number two. It's really when you're a co-host, it's just there's your co. So it's like host one and host alpha, At any rate,
sure, yeah.
we are equally a part of this podcast because there are two of us. Two halves make a whole. And we're starting this podcast because, we want to shine a light into what it's like to be a couple that are madly in love, right? And
very
pursuing, competitive bodybuilding with aspirations to reach, the highest levels. So
yeah, and I think we are going to provide a really unique perspective because it's such a individualistic sport that kind of combining that individual portion with someone else and also just life because we both manage independent careers.
Corporate careers, side hustles.
Majority of bodybuilders are living that life, and I think it's good to share that perspective.
Probably all of them, really. And for those that are listening that are not bodybuilders, we're not just talking about bodybuilding. That is obviously the core primary focus, but it's all things relationships, balancing work and life and hobby or passion, which is what bodybuilding is.
And just a disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only.
Yes. Yeah, we are here to entertain you. We're here, for you to listen. We're
not giving legal advice. We're not giving medical advice.
From work or on your way. Maybe you're doing cardio. Maybe you're on the Stairmaster right now. RIP to your legs. But yeah, this is for folks that might be, looking for motivation or looking for answers or looking for guidance.
Yeah.
And maybe a laugh. That's what we'll try to do. So we've got these fancy new microphones.
Yeah.
And so, if there's things that you guys suggest could make the podcast better as this goes on, holler at us. At us.
And my Instagram is barbellbrat. You are Ren_dog.
Ren dog. Yeah.
We're gonna, have our questionnaire on our stories.
Always going to post for questions.
And we'll put the details in the description of this video.
Yeah, we will post, probably weekly asking for questions, which we got a ton of today. And that's really what we're going to kind of just dive into to kind of give you an idea, maybe what this podcast is all about. And you can tell by the types of questions how that's going to look, right? Yeah. So let's jump into it, right? There were a number of questions that had a very consistent theme, which is, balancing life with bodybuilding, right? Dating life, relationships. So this first question, how hard is it to balance competing in such a demanding sport and spend time together?
I don't think it's hard if you're not making it hard for yourself. Like you got to really how do you say, measure the importance of this competition for you. Like, is this a one-time thing you're doing and just like testing it out? What's your goal with the competing? Because if it's a lifelong thing, you're gonna have to vet somebody that's okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, how hard is it to balance?
It's harder.
It gets easier as you go.
It's hard to yeah, it does actually get easier as you go. It does. Yeah, because you've been through it before, but the first couple times it's going to be kind of selfish. Like, well, you don't know what you're stepping into yet.
Let's look at it also like a really very real life example. I just started a prep.
Yeah.
I'm 17 weeks and change out, depending. That could change, when you're this far out. You never know if you'll be ready earlier or what have you. So what are we doing today? We're going to the Renaissance Festival. Yeah. Right? That's what we're going to do right after this. So, maybe the me 3 years ago would have been very bent out of shape about, well, boy, this is going to be a lot of, come on, we're right recording here.
We are right here.
A couple of years ago, I might have gotten really bent out of shape and, oh boy, like this is going to change my activity levels to the day. I'm probably going to get a lot more steps than I average. What's this going to do to my food? Should I eat more? I'm in a lot of these things, it's just analysis paralysis. So when you say about how hard is it to balance life, it does get easier as you go, I think,
You
because
have to be
here we are
adaptable.
balancing life. We're going to go to the Ren Fest, and I'm going to do what? I'm going to pack a meal to
Mm-hmm.
eat as soon as we get there,
Yep.
and I'll have another meal packed to eat as soon as we're done, because we'll probably be a couple hours.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm going to walk past a lot of delicious looking vendors. Excuse me, the vendors don't look delicious. They might. I don't
the
know.
ven the vending
The
items.
food that they're vending will probably be delicious, and there'll be all types of sugary items, and I would love to indulge in those. But again, it gets easier as you go on, and I don't have any interest because I know the value of achieving the physique I want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm balancing by making time for family and friends. We're meeting some friends there, but it doesn't mean that I have to get off plan.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
that's absolutely true.
That's the
Like you
that's
have
the
to be
self will part.
adaptable and you have to be intentional
Yeah,
about this goal you're trying to achieve on
yeah,
stage because it's not easy, but at the same time, you can make it hard for yourself.
yeah. Well, and
Or you can make it easy for yourself. It's really just about intention. Like
yeah.
I'm setting the intention to look like this on stage. What's my everyday, actions that I'm taking that are
Mm.
leading me to that?
Every day makes a difference.
It really
People love
does.
to kind of have that of like, oh, it's not one day isn't going to kill you. And I think that if I could give one piece of advice to folks who are still maybe newer to following a meal plan, it is so perfectly reasonable it'll happen. People in your professional or your personal life, oh, you can't just have a bite, or oh, come have food with us, to just stop and say, hey, you know what, I'm actually really holding myself accountable to this new diet that I started, and
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm going to regret it, or I'm going to be upset at myself if I don't stick to that. And so I'd just appreciate if you guys could understand that.
And you're always going to run into people that are going to say something
Of
that you don't
course,
like, and
absolutely.
it's just about brushing it off
Yeah.
because in the end their opinion doesn't matter on stage.
Well,
It
no, and
doesn't.
and even
It
taking the on stage part about it, if you're just a person pursuing a fitness goal, like, hey, this is important to me,
Yeah.
and you're someone in my personal or professional life, hey, this is something that's really important to me, and I'm really holding myself accountable and challenging myself, and I'm just not gonna, I'm not willing to lose out on
Mm-hmm.
that.
Absolutely.
And if people are worthy of being in your life, they should understand
Mm-hmm.
that, right?
100%.
Yeah. All right, let's see if we've got another question here. This one's a little more silly, shall we say. F, Mary, kill. Fuck, Mary, kill. We don't need to say
Mm-hmm.
F. We're not children.
Yeah.
Muffins, donuts, or cookies? What do you think? Do you want to go
Ooh.
first?
You go first. You go first.
So, as someone who is, strictly gluten free, unless I'm on vacation, like real vacation, and then I'm just like, whatever, who cares? I'll suffer the consequences. I would say if I'm looking at this from a gluten free perspective, there's no such thing as a good gluten free donut. So I'm definitely going to kill those.
Unfortunately.
I think I would marry the cookies and fuck the muffins. Yeah.
Man.
Those
Okay.
dirty, dirty muffins, dude.
Man.
They
Okay.
deserve it.
Okay.
What do you think?
I'm killing muffins.
Killing muffins.
Yes,
Yeah, that's right. You're not a muffin fan.
I'm because I'm not gluten free, so I would enjoy
Yeah.
donuts
Yeah.
thoroughly.
Boy, would I love a Krispy Kreme. Remember when I crashed out last year and I went to Five Daughters? This place that's
Yes,
in there. It's a
you did get a
chain.
gluten free cookie there, and
I
I
did.
remember it being absolutely disgusting.
No, a gluten free donut.
Oh, sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
donut,
yeah.
and it was
They,
absolutely
they
disgusting.
they did have a couple of gluten, but here's an example, right? This place was like, oh, would you like to try our maple bacon cream filled puff pastry donut, or
It was a
our
cronut too.
yeah, yeah, or our yeah, we also have this chocolate chip gluten free. It tastes like sand,
Yeah, it was like gooey
so
sand. That's
so
exactly what
I
it
did
was
have a
like.
crash out. Yeah, I would also pit donuts first if I could.
Yeah, but I'm killing muffins.
Okay.
I'm marrying cookies because cookies are so comforting. You can never go wrong with a cookie. A donut,
Yeah,
it has its time and
I also
place.
married the cookie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a donut has its time and place. So I'm fucking the donuts,
yeah.
marrying the cookies, killing the muffins.
Donuts are made to be fucked. That's why they have a hole in them. You know. All right. That's a great
Okay,
question from
okay.
Chris. Thank you,
Thank
Chris.
you.
Let's roll into another couple of questions from Chris. They
Yeah.
go hand in hand. Um, for those that don't know, we're former powerlifters, both of us. Got
Yes.
our start in, strength sports,
Hmm.
powerlifting for a
When did
number
you
of
switch over to
years.
bodybuilding? What year?
20, let's call it 2023,
Okay. I
really.
was at the tail end of 2023 as well, and
Yeah.
the 20 January 2024 is really when I
Yeah.
started completely bodybuilding. Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, it was probably like fall of 22 is when I went, hey, I should start dieting. And like maybe I'll do a bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
And then February 23 is when I was like, no, you know what? We just had a successful like 4 months of diet. Yeah, let's do
So you
this.
were about a year before
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
bodybuilding. Okay.
So the question is, how was the shift from powerlifting to bodybuilding? And what is a like and a dislike from both?
Ooh, this is
Yeah.
good. Um
You want me to go first?
yeah, you go first. Yeah.
So the shift from bodybuilding, or excuse me, from powerlifting to bodybuilding, I would say it took me a long time to learn how to train properly again. As someone who powerlifted for 7 years, and
Hmm.
I got to a point where I had the international elite total, whatever that means, and squatting and deadlifting over 700 pounds. I could spend a lot of time on my form, but it was not for hypertrophy,
You were
right?
training for the number.
Purely, I didn't give a fuck about hypertrophy.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, the transition, my immediate thing was, boy, training is easy now. Like I just use these light weights and get a pump. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, there's actually so much more to this. So yeah, for me, it was obviously the diet part
Yeah.
was hard,
Hmm.
learning to stick to a diet
Hmm.
and withhold yourself. But the training, while less challenging to figure out, just took more time. I feel like I got a little bit better every couple of months.
Hmm.
I guess the overall answer would be it wasn't as easy as I thought it would be.
Okay.
Yeah, the transition, and
What's your like and dislike about?
well, alike in powerlifting, I think for me it's quantifiable. Like you go on, you do, not stage.
Subjective.
You go into a meet. Like I lifted more weight than you. I win.
It's objective, yeah.
Whereas bodybuilding is subjective. We see that at the Pittsburgh Pro that happened yesterday. There's a lot of people. The New York Pro was 2 weeks ago. The Pittsburgh Pro was yesterday. The guys who got first and second place at New York swapped.
Hmm.
The guy who got second at New York got first in Pittsburgh, and the guy who got first now got second. So
Hmm.
and everyone, oh, it should have been him. No, he should have. It's so subjective, and that can be a little frustrating. Whereas in powerlifting, I always love that it's like, no, I benched 500, you benched 490, I win. So that's something I really liked about powerlifting.
Hmm.
Um, Maybe something I disliked. Frankly, after a while, the training just got to be, I mean, I was in pain.
Yeah.
It was like putting a square peg in a round hole. My knees were shot, my hips were shot. I look at a lot of people that powerlifted a long time successfully. They got replacement knees, replacement hips,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't want that to be me.
No,
You know,
yeah, that's
yeah,
a rough thing to deal with. Like, yeah, I see
yeah.
a bunch of older guys
Sure.
at my gym,
Oh
and
yeah.
like the powerlifting community just rubbing themselves with Tiger Balm and wrapping themselves up. I'm
The
like,
pungent smell of
bro,
icy
just
hot on a Saturday morning
bro.
before squats. Yeah, I remember it well.
Oh my goodness.
Go to the warm up area at Marietta Barbell where I learned how to power lift on a
Yeah, yeah,
Saturday
yeah, yeah.
morning, and the odor of icy hot
Boy,
will be permeating
yeah,
the
like
entire gym.
there's gotta be a limit, man. Like it does
No
exist.
limits.
Yeah, but I would say my biggest thing also transitioning from powerlifting to bodybuilding was the strength dysmorphia. Again, it's just
Oh
similar.
yeah,
It's the training aspect again,
yeah,
but like it wasn't very hard for me because even as a powerlifter, I was aware of my nutrition. So like before I had stepped into powerlifting itself, I was kind of training for hypertrophy. I had a
yeah,
trainer. I was following a little meal plan. It wasn't like exact, but I was tracking food, and I kept tracking food throughout powerlifting because I thought that I learned early on and I
yeah.
saw the difference in my body when I wasn't tracking for the first couple months in powerlifting. And then I was like, okay, um, if I'm eating this much protein and this many carbs and this much fats,
Yeah.
I feel a little better under this weight.
Boy,
And
I
I
wish I
feel a
had done
little
that.
better next time too.
Mm.
And I kept track of that, like, and I approached it kind of holistically. So
Mm.
I was very lucky to have enjoyed powerlifting and it not having been so hard to transition from powerlifting to bodybuilding. Um, because I come from such a big weight loss. So for me, like,
My
the
weight loss, yeah.
the
Yeah.
bloating, every Saturday before squats or whatever, I just was not doing that because,
Mm.
you know, I had to maintain a specific body weight and I was, competing in this
Yeah.
weight class. Like I had to be
True.
conscious of, my physique. So
I wish I had done that.
so I
I
mean,
do.
I had no leg room to kind of go fuck all and
Yeah.
eat, stacks of
My
pancakes every week. Like my body is small. So, and I'm trying to put up the biggest numbers.
yeah.
So, how do I get there without, getting bigger? That's the trick that got me into nutrition. And the big, difficult part of transitioning to bodybuilding was I just didn't feel as strong. I was like,
Was
I
that
was squatting 300 plus pounds.
yeah.
Now I'm like, yeah, like, put a plate and a quarter on the Smith
Hmm.
and I die at like 12, 15 reps. Yo, this was
Yeah.
my warm up. Like
Sure. It's
it was a little bit of strength dysmorphia. Like, man, I feel kind of weak and I don't like it.
did you feel like that had taken like a part of you away?
A
Because
little
like you were
bit
the girl in the
because
gym that was
I
strong
was
as
the
shit.
girl. Yeah, I was the girl in the gym that was strong as shit.
Yeah.
And now I'm just the girl at the gym who's jacked as shit. but
Also not a bad rep to have. I
yeah,
mean,
it's not a bad rep. Um and obviously like the strength that I got from powerlifting was carried over to bodybuilding. Like I
yeah.
still squat heavy, I still hip
Well,
thrust heavy,
well,
I still RDL heavy. Like
yeah.
all of these
Oh
things,
yeah.
they definitely help, and that's what I like about powerlifting because it gets that ego lifting out of the way as a bodybuilder,
Oh, you
you
know what?
know?
I had someone a couple of weeks ago asked me that. I forget who I was talking with
Mm-hmm.
about, oh, I miss throwing such and such in the bar, and I was like, I don't miss that shit a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't.
I don't either. Like,
There's no part of me that goes into the gym nowadays and is like, I want to try to put an extra plate. I frankly, I like to find machines that require as little weight as possible. I don't want to put all them plates on there. I mean,
me
like for
either.
me, I leg
That's
pressed
honestly why I
yesterday.
switched to barbell RDLs from the belt
Yeah.
squat a couple weeks ago because I was loading so many plates
Yeah,
per
you were putting like
side on the
6 on
belt
there or
squat that it was
something.
taking like 15 minutes out
Exactly.
of my workout
Yeah.
to put the plates back.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
this is not fun. Like, and then I
Yeah.
was like, just for variability's sake, so I don't have to go to a specific gym and I can be a little more flexible with the gyms I go to,
Yeah.
I'm just going to switch to
Yeah,
barbell.
true. That's another thing too about boy, I hadn't even thought of that. Going from powerlifting to bodybuilding. Dude, back in the power, I was such a gym snob. They got to have the right
The
deadlift
right
bars I
squat
like.
bar.
They
Great.
better have baby powder somewhere for me to put on my legs, and they better have chalk somewhere. And now,
A place
of
for your
course,
chair to rest on.
I still, yeah, right. I still want to find a gym that has great equipment, and we
Yeah.
have that. But I guess what I'm getting at is, I nowadays a lot of times I go to the Gold's Gym. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Their
Yeah.
equipment, some of their equipment's kind of bad, but boy, will I get a good workout in.
Right.
I
Like
can.
I can.
I don't
It's
have
very
to be.
possible.
So, what about a like or dislike from either?
From
Yeah.
either. Uh Powerlifting, I will say I disliked the training, the monotony of it um
Yeah.
at a certain point. And man, like that's still a dislike in bodybuilding because you're still
Mm,
doing the same shit over and over. But you're having to get better at it. And the difference is with bodybuilding is yes, you're doing the same movement, but I feel like you're learning something new damn near
yeah.
every week when you do it.
I agree.
Like for me, the freaking leg press. The leg press. I
Mm.
have been doing the leg press for years and it's never felt right. If anything, it actually gave me most of my injuries. It gave me
Oh,
most of my
sure.
injuries.
Yeah. Low
And
back, knee
I just
injuries.
now, like 2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
5 years of lifting, figured it out. Like,
Yeah, I think for our
you're
next,
learning something new every time with bodybuilding.
yeah,
While powerlifting, I did learn new stuff, but I was like,
yeah.
okay, like this is something I'm doing next week and next week and
I
next
think
week.
for our next episode, let's pick a couple of different exercises or machines and talk about ways that we adapt and innovate to them. Because I've got a couple in mind, mostly leg presses or hack squats, where these were things that caused me a lot of pain. And I could not push to a true muscular failure because I would be like, I probably realistically have 8 more reps in the tank, but my knee is throbbing. And if I keep pressing, it's going to hurt real bad later today. So, yeah, that's an interesting, we could probably spend a lot of time on that.
But I will say with powerlifting, it's more fun to compete. It's so much
You
more
think
fun.
so?
I think it's so much more to like prepare for a powerlifting meet than it is for a bodybuilding
Well,
competition.
certainly
It's more
mentally.
fun.
Yeah, like
Yes.
there's much less mental exhaustion.
Yes.
With bodybuilding, like, and I say it, prepping for a powerlifting meet versus a bodybuilding show, it is night and day. Like, bodybuilding is indescribably more challenging. You mentioned something about like the bloat on a Saturday. Yeah, dude, we used to squat Saturdays. So Friday night usually meant a pizza or going out to Marietta Diner for a big omelet and potatoes and waffles and pancakes.
Yeah.
And so my weight loss didn't start until I found bodybuilding.
Yeah, my weight loss started before powerlifting, so I think that's kind of what makes it unique. But I have for bodybuilding is, man, you get to see your efforts pay off every week. You get to see your effort, just the little stuff add up. Like you're checking week to week. You start comparing them, and you're like, whoa, like the stuff I'm doing like right now, it's all adding up. It's all having a purpose. But with powerlifting, sometimes it's like, yeah, like I did all these things right, but my fatigue, like, goddamn, like it's getting the best of me. So sometimes you can get discouraged in certain powerlifting sessions that, bodybuilding, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I guess I didn't name a like either. I will say that's something I like about bodybuilding is the training. So, and shame on me, like in my powerlifting days, if I was like trying to peak or prep, let's say I was maybe 5, 6, 7 weeks out, I might come to the gym and just be having an off day. Maybe my rest wasn't the best. Maybe my hips are bothering me a little bit, but I would come in the gym and, let's say my coach at the time might have said, all right, you're going to do, 635 on deadlift for sets of 5.
I'm like,
and I might go and get that first set and like 635, I might get 2. And then I'd just be like, fuck, I don't have it today. And I'll just leave. Like I wouldn't like throw a hissy fit or anything, but I'd just be like, I should just go. I'm just going to go.
Yeah.
And, with bodybuilding nowadays, it's so much less pressure and stress because I can come in and be like, oh, you know what? I didn't get a great night's sleep or work was really mentally draining today. And, I have the same energy to maybe put as many plates on the machine. I don't give a fuck because I ultimately just want to connect with the tissue and stimulate it to failure. I can do that with almost anything weight wise. So there's not like this arbitrary goal or metric that you have to hit in order to feel on track. And that for me is like,
that's what I mean, like
really
by the monotony of powerlifting is that it doesn't accommodate so much of your fatigue, and you're having to just mentally push through it, because strength really is just a mental game, while hypertrophy is more physical. Like you're trying to get blood to that muscle.
Have a coach that just drives you into the ground with their Anyway, that's a good question. So here's another good one from Egyptian moon goddess Marie, the only married in a week out? Are we 9
days?
Boy, I can't wait to see the picture. It's going to be incredible.
I'm so excited. Well, speaking of which, we actually won't be recording next week because I will be in Egypt.
Maybe we do one early.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do one early.
Okay.
We'll see. Marina asks, how do you balance dating and bodybuilding? And so now this is a little different than, how do you balance competing while together? So I think maybe Marina's asking like, you're not in a relationship, you're actively dating, right? Like you're in the dating single and ready to mingle sort of phase.
Yes. And it all goes back to...
We've both done it.
Yeah, we have. And I think it all goes back to how serious do you take bodybuilding?
Yeah.
How seriously do
Yeah.
you take it? Because for me, I take it so seriously that, like, if I'm looking for a partner, they have to be okay with me being serious about it
Yeah.
or be as serious about it. So that's the big thing of how to balance it. Like, it, yeah.
So what you're saying is maybe somebody who understands bodybuilding or understands the level of effort that it requires. Now,
Mm-hmm.
so I think, we met.
I
We were two
was,
bodybuilders that were dating. We were both active competitive bodybuilders, and we found each
yeah,
other through
yeah.
Instagram. So, yes, if it's somebody who's already bodybuilding or following a really strict nutritional lifestyle and exercise lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say you meet a person who doesn't follow that kind of routine, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me, I think back to my professional life. I'm a salesperson, and I'm a big fan of the upfront contract.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I meet with a customer, I lay out an agenda, I lay out initiatives and next steps, and I say, here are all the things that are going to happen over the next 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Does this all sound right to you? And I think when you're dating, communication is so critical. So if you're, meeting somebody who is not a bodybuilder, doesn't know anything about bodybuilding, and that's the lifestyle that you're living, and just being very upfront with them and saying, hey, for me, dinner and drinks isn't really an option,
Yeah.
right? Hey, for
Sometimes it's
for
not, yeah.
for me, I'm 8 weeks out from a show. About a month from now, my energy levels are going to be so depleted and
That's
so
basically
low
about the time we met. Yeah.
that something like going out for, dancing or going out for such and such, I may tell you that I'm too tired, and I need you to understand that I'm not blowing you off. I really mean it.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to, not emphasize necessarily, but just try to, yeah, emphasize that,
Communicate. Just communicate it.
communicate that, hey, I'm explaining something to you that you've never experienced, and unless you've done it, you're not going to get it fully.
And we're also talking specifically about competitive bodybuilding. And when you are in
Yes.
the face of competition, which is
Yeah.
really not a big window of somebody's bodybuilding career, like, you should not be
Yeah.
perpetually in prep.
No, you're not.
like
And that's,
there's some flexibility. Like, for
yeah.
example, I'm not in prep, but he is.
Yeah.
So I'm understanding of the limitations that he may have,
Mm.
but I can go out for dinner and drinks, once or
You're
twice a
going
week
on a
with my
trip
friends.
next week,
Yeah.
and
Like,
I'm not going because of prep. I'm not going for a list of reasons,
mm-hmm.
but um, you know, here's another thing to think about too. How okay are you with your partner being not ogled, but like people constantly saying something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, we experience it a lot. We'll probably experience it today at the Renaissance Festival.
Mm-hmm.
People, mostly, guys that are between, 19 and 25, will come up to me, oh, dude, your arms are, you're so jacked, bro, or oh, look at your shoulders, man, how much can you bench? So like, you got it. Is that okay with you? Is that going to be a nuisance? Is that going to be annoying? Because boy, does it happen. I don't really love it.
Yeah.
There's a little validation there,
Yeah.
but that's a thing. Like, and even
When you're
for,
lacking energy to receive that, it's
yeah,
hard
yeah,
to, like,
but
return the appreciation,
yeah,
which, yeah, you may feel internally, but
yeah,
externally you have to, like, express it for them.
but
So
but but realistically, if you're going to be with someone who's competing at a very high level and is very muscularly dense, be prepared to like be a spectacle out in public sometimes. Be prepared for people to just randomly come up to you and try to
my
strike up a
Renaissance freak show.
conversation. Hey, and like, yeah. What's so funny about that is I'm like, dude, I ain't shit. I am nobody. Like, I could name you, 500 million bodybuilders that would make me look like a tiny little person. And
But,
it's
like,
like, yeah, you
to
don't
the
see those
majority, you're
people
still
day
an
to day.
anomaly.
Yeah.
Like,
So, even at my level of being an amateur, yeah, people say stuff and you might not like that. So take that
yeah,
into consideration as
yeah,
well.
yeah. But, like, again, it's about asking yourself, how important is
Yeah.
bodybuilding to me, and the relationships that I want to maintain in my life.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, these are good questions.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Here's another one. What are your goals for this year?
Yeah. What are your goals?
So
You're in prep, obviously.
I've got a goal. Yeah, I mean, my goal this year, I mean, I'm going to go compete in Texas, and they say everything's bigger in Texas. They say bodybuilding is big in Texas. So,
Is that from Raquel? I think.
um, who asked this question? Yeah, Kiana.
Kiana. Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Okay.
So, what's my goal? Yeah, my goal is to win the overall.
Yeah.
I would say that my goal is to compete in both classic and, open bodybuilding. Open bodybuilding, I'm not setting high expectations for myself
This is your
because I'll
first time
be
competing in it. Yeah.
I'll be underweight.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think the cutoff for heavyweight is like 225, and my classic weight is 209.
209. Yeah.
So if I do both, I'm going to be way underweight but that's fine. I don't care. It's just for fun and to
Yeah.
kind of see, what I look like
Get
next
your
to
feet
those
wet.
guys. Get my feet wet, get my
Yeah.
hands dirty.
Mm-hmm.
But my goal, yeah, it's to win an overall and, maybe kind of put myself in a position to reverse out of that and take a shot at some national shows in 2027 or 2028
Mm-hmm.
and see if a pro card is something that's realistically achievable for me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good goals.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah. It's a life season for me. I started obviously with Alex Baugh beginning of this
Mm.
year. It's been great.
New
It's been
coaches for
wonderful.
both of us.
Yeah, been wonderful. We just finished off our first push phase, our first growth phase. I gained about 10 pounds with him, and we're just in a kind of maintenance slash deficit in the
Yeah, you're in a little
meantime.
bit of a desert.
The interesting thing is like my food has not gone lower, my cardio has not increased, but I've been on the same amount of calories from the end of my push phase, and I'm dropping weight. Like it's
Yeah.
insane. We just got blood work back. We're gonna do tomorrow's check-in and see what that's all about.
Make some adjustments.
Make some adjustments. And when I come back from Egypt, beginning of June, I'll probably get more locked into the goals again.
Yeah. No point in staying locked in.
Yeah,
Egypt,
like
right? Like enjoy your life.
Exactly. Like that.
Yeah.
That's a week I'm just gonna have of a bodybuilding break, and that's completely fine. Obviously, it'll be kind of a mental hurdle at first, but it'll be good more than anything. And we get into this little cut, finish that off, and go into another push phase towards the end of the year.
Put some more tissue on.
Put some more tissue on because man, it takes time. It takes time,
it does.
effort. It takes a lot, and
takes time.
I think this will be like my third push since my last show. This recent push was a clean one. Like I didn't fuck off and like put on a bunch of body fat.
You have been insanely locked in.
Yeah, so I'm trying to make these growth phases as productive as possible, because that's really when you put on the most tissue. Well, that's your construction right there.
That's what everyone says is your off season makes your prep. You know, it determines how easy or hard your prep may be. And yeah, I did a pretty good job during this last push of like not letting myself get until like the last like 10 days. And then I had a couple times where I was like, ooh, let me have an extra piece of bread, man. Or like, so I would say we ended my push right at the perfect time.
Yeah.
It was so strange, like the way things happen. I remember I injured my hip a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I was on that belt squat and I woke up the next day and I think just the belt on the belt squat had just like really irritated my hip. And so I ended up being fine, 5 days later, but it was a weird cosmic intervention of like time to stop the bulk.
Yeah.
Injury.
Yeah.
So, okay. Let's say this might be our last question here and we're coming up on time. Okay. From Callie, what do you guys do for fun as a couple when you're both in prep or on a strict plan?
Anything that doesn't involve food, man. Yeah. Anything that doesn't involve a sit down meal. And especially if it's something that requires steps and walking, we will absolutely do it. Because like right now he's in prep.
Downtown,
yeah, but like we're going to Renfest. Yeah, there's going to be food around, but that's optional. It's not something we have to do. we don't have to eat
Yeah.
there. But there's going to be a lot of walking. That's going to be very prep
It's gonna be a lot
friendly.
of walking.
Also,
Yeah.
our first date, like I was in prep during our first date.
Yeah.
I did have a refeed and it was strictly sushi. So we went on a sushi date. But like that was only a portion of our date. Like the first thing we did
And
was
if you don't like
we went
sushi, grow up.
right.
Grow
Anyway,
up.
we went to the thrift store. We went to my
Yeah.
favorite crystal store.
We did.
We
We
yeah,
made out in the
like
parking lot.
yes,
Two
we
different
made
parking lots.
two different parking lots.
Yeah.
And
Did
then
not go home together though. Like you know what I'm saying? Come on. Show some respect.
exactly.
I went back home. She went back home.
Yes.
Come on.
Got to.
Golly,
And then yeah, that was fun. But we did not make food like the biggest deal.
No, frankly, if you didn't have a refeed, we could have just eaten in the car.
Exactly.
We could have
Like
eaten
if we
Tupperware food in the car. That would
and
have been fine.
he's competed before, so he would
Yeah.
have been understanding of that.
Yeah.
And not seen it as weird and yeah, like
Yeah.
it was just hey, no food, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, and like, what did we do last weekend? We went to McKay's.
Mhm.
We went to our favorite used bookstore, looked at some trinkets, got a couple of books.
Mhm.
We've definitely been reading more this year.
Oh,
I
yeah.
will say, boy, with everything that we're seeing around us in our world, that the more that you can disconnect from the mainstream media and large outlets and just get back to fundamental like learning, reading
Mhm.
books, I think the better. So we've gotten into that more.
I
Yeah,
think
podcasts. Listen,
obviously
listen to
like
people.
educational podcasts. Yeah.
Listen to people in your
Yeah.
community is
Yeah.
what I'm saying, right? So like that I think is like highly important right now. Is just being a member of your community.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do that a little bit more. I actually looked up like what kind of town council meetings are happening in the next 90 days, or what sort of like not protests, but what like opportunities are there for me to go listen to someone who's campaigning for political office so that I can make an informed decision.
Yeah.
I think we're at a time where we need to really just listen locally to what's happening. I'm getting on my pedestal now, but that's something I've been pursuing more. And yeah, it involves no food. It involves critical thinking, and those are all great distractions.
Yeah.
Or things to keep you busy while you're.
We can do a First Amendment audit later, Ray.
We'll do a First Amendment audit. Yeah, we'll go to the local library and start recording. But yeah, so yeah, we have like our bookstore that we like to go to. We can go to a number of different, you've got Stonekeepers, you've got Aroma G's, you've got
this
a lot
is
of different
Esoteric.
places.
Actually,
Yeah.
shout out to Esoterica, one of my favorite YouTube channels.
Yeah.
I put that on during cardio and I listened to like a bunch of stuff that is really cool underground information. So if you're into that, Esoterica, check them out.
Well, let's no, we have zero sponsors. If anyone thinks this podcast
if we are
has
recommending
potential
anything, it is purely because we believe in it.
Yeah. I think that's all the questions. Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. I think
we might have time for one more.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, how about this last one here?
Yeah.
What drives your passion for bodybuilding?
Man, do I have a fear of getting fat again?
Yeah.
But I don't think that's really my number one motivator for bodybuilding.
It's not nothing. It's not nothing. I mean, it's as a former fatty myself, like I still remember very well the feeling like deep in my gut when I saw the photograph of my like very close up front headshot when I started a new job with a big software company.
Yeah.
And they got to take your photo to put on your badge and your intranet and everything. And I went, oh my God, look at my face. Why is my face so puffy and bloated and I just hated it. I never want to look like that again.
Yeah.
So that's not my main motivator. No, I think, like we said earlier, the reward of just how you feel.
It goes back to the I had of bodybuilding, just seeing, man, week to week, all of that work that you're putting in, just as small as drinking your water every day, as small as like eating
some
your
electrolytes
meals
in there too.
Yeah, like all of these things add up, and there's beauty in it because it's a process that isn't instant gratification, but you're
No,
receiving so
not
much
instant.
gratification out of it, and it's just a cycle of feeding your discipline to stay
Yeah.
in place. And I think that's what motivates me to
Mm.
continue bodybuilding and seeing what else I could do. It's just really so empowering.
It makes me think like when I used to love those Austin Powers movies when I was a kid, and there was a quote, one of the characters whose name was Fat Bastard,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he would say, "It's a vicious cycle. I eat because I'm upset, and I'm upset because I eat." And like it's the opposite now. Like I follow my meal plan because I see the rewards, because I follow my
Mm-hmm.
meal plan because I see the rewards, right?
There, that,
It's a non-vicious cycle.
yes,
It's
non-vicious.
it's the opposite of that. So I mean, boy, what does, first of all, I just love to be active. I love to train. I love to push my body and try to do things I couldn't do before.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, the visual rewards are exciting.
They
I like
are.
to see it. And you know, if it can motivate somebody next to me to get healthier, like, look, it's no surprise. Um, we're at a really low time in our country for obesity and heart disease and, you know, all these things. And it's
But
like,
also just
dude,
the facet of muscle building, because everybody's
yeah,
on GLPs now.
yeah,
Like,
those have gotten
to
real popular.
they have, and
Not
yeah,
a
you
good
can
thing.
lose weight, but are you burning fat?
You know, and we see like all these things about AI and what's going to change with the AI explosion. I'll tell you what's not going to change: your ability to move your body. You know, and so like of all the things that might be taken away from you, like don't let your physical health or your physical well-being be taken too. Like there is one thing you can ultimately control, and that is your hand going to your mouth or
Mm-hmm.
your feet putting themselves one in front of the other and getting active, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah. There's just a lot of like autonomy that
yeah.
comes with bodybuilding, and it just bleeds into everything else. Like, man,
Yeah.
do I love thinking for myself.
Yeah,
Man,
dude.
man, do I love doing this for myself and trusting what I'm doing for myself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's see here. How should we close this? Is there what's something you're going to do this week? Let's challenge ourselves to do
Oh,
one thing this week that we
okay.
maybe have been lacking on a little bit. I'll tell you, for me, it's posing practice.
Yeah,
I know I'm still pretty far out, but I don't really love to pose. I don't love posing. It's not
I
my
love
favorite.
posing.
So for
If I
me,
have time, like 10 minutes after a
yeah,
lift to pose, I will absolutely
yeah.
go do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think for me, I'm going to
yeah.
challenge myself to really true to life do two, count them, one,
Mm-hmm.
two, 12 to 15-minute posing sessions this week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not going to overdo it. I'm not going to go crazy, but a real good, like, hey, do 3, maybe 4 rounds of
I think
mandatories.
also just remembering that this is your performance on stage. Like,
Oh,
on
it's
stage, this
highly
is
important.
what matters. You're
Highly important.
posing. How you pose the muscle you built
Yeah.
is what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
What about
think
you?
man, packing on time. Packing, not the day of.
You
Yeah,
better start
yeah.
right now then.
Oh my goodness. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't, it's just a couple days there, and man,
Yeah.
am I ready to just splurge there because everything is so cheap.
Right.
In comparison to here, obviously it's an inflated economy. So man, just packing on time, that's my goal. That is my goal. Yeah.
All
I,
right.
I do leave Saturday evening, so I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, and it's Sunday now,
Mm-hmm.
so you got some time.
Okay.
All right. Well, hey, that wraps
Concludes
up
up.
episode 1.
Yeah, we'll definitely be recording next week.
Yeah.
We'll have everything in the description. You can ask us questions whenever we
Please
post that
leave
story.
a comment. Let us know what you think. Like it, share it,
Yeah.
subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot more. We'll do some shorts. We'll do some training content. Um, whatever people want to see, within reason.
Yes.
Within reason.
Within reason.
Goodbye.